Okay guys, thanks for joining another one of my videos. I'm going to keep it simple at the intro to this. What I'm going to do on this is I have an old fax machine that we're going to have a look inside to see what precious metals we can find, see if there's anything worth getting off them, such as gold, looking for silvers, maybe anything that might have platinum in it. So a lot of people will have a lot of these thrown around. These are become obsolete now. I don't know too many places that still use fax machines, but there's a lot of places used to have them. So they are fairly handy to come across. So this is just a straightforward Brother fax machine. So we'll take it apart. We'll have a quick look through it. It's going to be mainly plastic, mainly metals, but hopefully there will be something under here in a board format that may contain gold, and maybe a bit deeper down we might find something that contains gold. So what I'm going to do first on it is I'm going to remove all the screws here on the back. So you can see there's quite a lot of screws on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove all these screws, and we'll come back to it once I've removed all the screws, and we'll go on to the next stage. Okay, so we've removed the screws from this back plate here at the moment, so we'll lift off this back plate and see if we can see what's underneath, and we'll go on to the next stage. So I'll just take off this back plate. Okay, so we've got this back plate off, so we have a power board. Looks like it's just a regular power board here. We have just a regular power board with some transformers. Very low grade board. So we've got some copper wiring, some copper transformer. That's really about it really, on a few transistors, resistors probably, a bit of aluminium. So that's not much on that, so we'll put that aside. Again, we just have some steel, just some steel that can be put in with your steel. Okay, with some more power boards here, so we'll just remove these power boards and have a quick look at them. So again, we'll have some gold on these little connectors here, so I can see the gold on the connectors, gold. So again, I'll remove them gold pins and put them in with the rest of my gold pins I've collected up. Other than that, on the board there's not really much more again there. A bit of copper in here, again you'll have some copper in here. That's about it really. That little chip there, I'll collect that up and I'll incinerate that with the rest of the chips when I'm doing my chips. That's about it that I can see a value. If you see something else that has a value on that, please leave a comment. Let me know that if I missed something rather than throw it away. So that's another board out. Next board, we'll have a look at this board. So this board has a lot of wire attached to it. So I see a nice big IC chip in there. Okay, so as you can see here, a nice big chip, IC chip here, another IC chip here of a different kind. Again, we have another IC chip here. So a few nice IC chips on that mainly, another few down here. Crystal oscillator. They're just pins, they're not gold plated, so they're just regular aluminium pins. We'll just see if we can remove this chip from where it's held in, if we can get in under it. Okay, so that's the chip out. It's just a basic enough chip, nothing really major on it. So that's about it on that. So we got a lot of cable in here that I can remove again. So we're on to the next level down. So again, I'm going to have to go with the screwdriver again and start removing. So we have some screw holes. It's a bit hard to see it with the angle of the camera. So again, we have some screw holes in here that we need to get into. Another one over here further. So we can take off the next level of the covers. So that's what I'll do now. Again, I'll pause it and we'll remove whatever visible screws so I can get into the next level and try and get in here underneath here again. So again, we'll have a lot of motors, stuff like that now in the next part, more than likely, if that's what I get into. Depends on what angle I get into. So I'm just going to pause it there and we'll come back to it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, lads, please, lads and girls. Anyone that's interested in this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel so you can get more info on other videos I've upcoming. So I'll just get back in a second once we remove the next layer. Okay, so I've had a look around it, and it's not really much screws there to get through to, so I've decided to go from this side instead. So we're just going to snap that off there. So again, we have some screws in along here, so let me see if we can get a better angle. So what I'm going to do is going to remove all these screws from this, and that should let me into underneath here. So hopefully there's a nice little board under here. Again, there may not be, but at least if I do it, it'll save people time. If it's not worthwhile doing, it might just be get rid of it another way, make money another way from it. But we'll pause it there, remove the screws, and we'll have a look underneath this part next, and we'll see what's inside this before we move on to the rest of the printer, or the fax machine. Okay, so I've removed the screws, so we'll try and see can we get this pulled apart from the rest of the plastic. So there's a few clips holding it in there together, so we'll see if we can. That pulled it apart fairly easy. So just plastic here on that, nothing of real value. Again, I do have someone who will buy the plastic off me, and we just seem to have a keyboard. I was hoping for something maybe a bit more, but again, we'll have some mylar here, which will contain hopefully silver. So again, that can be put in with your keyboard mylars, processed again the same way. Hopefully I'll have an upcoming video on that, on how to remove the silver from these mylars. Again, once I get more subscribers, I will start doing more of the refining of the videos, how to get the actual stuff out. I'm just showing at the moment what I collect up. So again, that's just a bit of mylar, so we'll put that aside. I was hoping for maybe a bit more of a bigger board in here. So we just have a small little board inside of here. Doesn't look to be of any great value, to be honest. We'll just see if we can get it removed. Okay, so again, we'll just have a look at that ribbon, see what sort of connectors are on it. So again, nothing really, maybe possibly silver on that. So again, I'll take it out anyway, and I'll process it with my silver when I process some silver. So hopefully there might be some silver on it. Quick look at the board itself. This little board that's inside there, all really on it is an IC chip on this side, and the other side nothing really of value at all, just a few connectors, and they don't seem to have any gold pins on it, so really nothing of any value there, only that IC chip. Again, I'll remove it, add it to the collection. So we're left with now is the LCD display. So again, there won't be anything of value there that I've any value on the IC chip or the LCD display. So nothing major there on that. A bit disappointing, to be honest. So I was hoping for something maybe a bit better on that. So again, we put that aside for a second. And we're back here now to our rest of it. So again, I have a few screws here and here, here and here. So I'll remove these screws. Hopefully that'll give you a bit more access into the thing, into the rest of it. That doesn't seem to remove from there too easy. Just a few catches. So I'll remove them screws, and we'll have a look inside of here and see what we can see, if there's anything of value inside of this. I'll just remove this ink while I'm here, the ribbon. So we just removed the ribbon while I was here. So again, some of the printers, we'd say, if we were doing printers and you come across cartridges, sometimes there might be a little bit of a gold chip on them. So as you can see, there's no gold chip on this. It's just an old-fashioned ribbon. So again, worthless unless you know someone that has a use for it themselves, but for precious recovery metals, nothing of value. So we'll pause the video, come back once I've removed these screws, and we'll have a look underneath there and see if there's anything of value under there. Okay, so I've removed any visible screws I could see inside of this department part of it. So we'll see what we can get out. So first off, again, we have this device here. Now it looks like it contains a board inside. So again, we'll take that further apart in a few minutes. Just having a look around it to see how we're going to gain access into it. I'd say it just looks like it's matter of forcing your way into that. There doesn't seem to be any visible screws. So I see a few clips along here, a few clips along here. No more clips here, another clip here. So again, that's probably just folded steel. So it's a matter of breaking your way into it. By the looks of it, it's maybe pulling the folds back from that. So we'll have a look at that in a second. Then we just remove the top plate cover. So again, just plastic, some wire. So again, if you want to put that wire in with it's very thin, but put it in with your insulated wire for your copper recovery. Just have a little bar. So again, it looks like it's just a steel bar, covered with a rubber protector over it. So that was just probably to pull the paper through. Again, more bars down on here. I see more screws now. I've come across more screws. So again, we'll have to take it off these layer of screws before I go any deeper into it. On the other side, again, it's just a lot of plastic. A few cogs. So obviously they ran off a motor, which I can see seems to be hidden underneath here. The motor, so the bars ran that ran it. So again, we have a lot of wires I have to get down to. So what we're going to try and do is next on this is I'm going to try and get into this. So it's a matter of prying open this device, this section, to see what that bar looks like. It looks like that board looks like it's a very low grade board, to be honest. But again, one way of finding out is just to get into it. So again, some more cable that you can put in with your insulated copper cables. Connectors on the ends of them is just silver, or not silver, just steel connectors or aluminium or something like that, but nothing of real value on them, so there's no pins worth taking off it. Just have a quick look to see if there's any. So there seems to be these clips here, and clips here. So that clip just pushes in, and it looks like we can maybe pull it apart from there. And I see some screws underneath here. So again, it's just a matter of getting this plastic off. Once we get that plastic off, so we've just broke that bit of plastic off, I'm into the actual board that I was looking at. So looking at that board there now, there is nothing of value at all on that board. So again, it may look like gold here, gold little connectors on it, or gold little flash, but more than likely it's copper that's on it. More than likely that's copper. So really not enough value, but we'll just remove it off anyhow while we're here. Seems to be spring mounted. Seems to be some springs underneath it, so as you can see when I press it in, the springs go down, so it makes it a bit harder to remove the screws, but we should be able to do it now. But looking at this machine, my verdict on this will be it is not worth the effort or the time for the amount of materials you're getting out of it. Unless, again, the steel, when you add up your steel worth, it just adds up. I suppose if you have time and you want to go at it, it's something you might be interested in taking apart. But anytime I've taken apart fax machines, I haven't come across anything of major value. Once or twice on some of the very high-end fax machines, I have come across some nice boards with some good nice IC chips, but as you can see from this one that I've taken apart, it is very, very low grade stuff. A lot of effort. So again, we'll just remove that. So that's, as I say, it's just steel. It's some springs on that. That's again just just waste steel. Have a closer look at this board. Doesn't seem to be anything at all of value. So we've just removed that board from it. Now again, when I'm looking closer, could possibly be gold underneath here. If I can get into that, but on that reader, let me have a look now. We'll just try and get a closer look at it. There's some sort of paste on it, whether that was a thermal paste of some sort, but as you can see there's some sort of white paste on that. It does look like a gold underneath that layer. If you can see down there, that looks like gold. That something is gold flashed. It has a protective coating over it, so it's like a glass, actually, not a protective coating. I'll just try and remove that, separate it from the board for a minute. We get a right look at it. So I say the board, nothing on it of any value. Possibly gold flashed, but I'll have to take a closer look at that. This is the main thing that interests me here now on this one, is whether that is gold underneath that layer. So we'll just snap it. It seems to be a glass covering on it. It's very, very hard still to make out whether that's gold, and how you get to it will be the other issue, because there's a protective glass over that, and if you try to even just snap it to get the glass out of it, it doesn't break. It just breaks off in one big lump. So I'll have to do a bit more investigating into that to see if I can figure out what that was, or whether that is a gold that's on that. Looking at the rest of this, there's no point really going any deeper in it. There's no more boards in it. There's just the electrical wire that's underneath here. Again, you can see here on this side, it's just electrical wire. A lot of plastic. So again, unless you have someone that's buying plastic off you, you're going to have to dispose of all this plastic again, which is going to be an inconvenience to people for the amount of worth that's in it. I, lucky enough, do have a person who does buy the plastic off me. As I was saying, if there's anyone who wants information on who I sell the plastic to, leave a comment. I can put a link to the company that buys the plastic. Now, I'm based in Ireland, so again, if you're in America or whatever, this company would be no good to you. They're based in Ireland. Well, they're based in Northern Ireland. So again, anyone in the UK that's watching this video, it may be a benefit to you. I can give you their details if you subscribe to my channel. Once you subscribed, send me a message and I can give you the link to the company that buys the plastic. So again, a lot of people are taking apart all this sort of stuff. They have a lot of plastic left over. So whether it's off computers, off printers, off some people I know that take apart vacuum cleaners to get the copper motors, any of that sort of stuff. So it's worth it to them to get the plastic. Like it's just, as I say, I was always getting rid of the plastic, dumping it back to landfill or back to other recycling companies. But this company now would pay for it, so it's a win-win for me at the moment. So any plastic I have, I just collect it up, and that's about it. So that's it for this video, to be honest. There's not much more to do in this video. No point carrying on any further, because there's nothing of real value here in the precious metal. Is what we were looking to see, was there any precious metals inside of these fax machines. So there's no point going any further. All that's left in it is steel and plastic and copper wire. A few motors. There's even a bit of a speaker in this one. You can see down here we have a speaker. So again, that was just for the sounds, the bleeping sounds, stuff like that, so that you'd hear it. Again, if you had the phone connected, this was a version which had the fax and phone, so you could put on loudspeaker to talk to anyone you wanted to on it while you were making your call. So after looking at everything that's in this fax machine, would I say the fax machines are worth the effort and time? No, I wouldn't. Personally, I don't think they are worth the time and effort. As you get a little bit of a power board with some copper in it. You get another power board, again copper. You're looking at again as the main value on them. We have the other board, which was the main board, which contained our chip, our larger IC chip that I've seen to have mislaid at the moment. I've put somewhere else that I'll have to try and find. Oh, here we go. That's it there. So we have the chip, or EEPROM chip as they're known. Again, they should contain gold inside of them, but we don't know until we incinerate them and go through that process to see what gold we get out of them. So it's just your EEPROM chip. Then we have our IC chips. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 IC chips on this. That's about it really on this. That's of any value that I can see. We have the crystal oscillator. Again, should contain some silver, possibly gold on some of them. On the other side, nothing of any value at all, just all solder. That's all it is there. And the other was the mylar. So again, that should contain some silver. So again, I'll process that with the keyboard milers. When I'm doing my keyboard milers from laptop, stuff like that. So please subscribe to the channel. I have a couple of upcoming videos coming up on network switches. I have network switches. I have another PC, hopefully that an older PC that someone is going to give me. We'll have a look at that to see if there's anything of real good value inside that old PCs. Again, comparing the older PCs with the new PCs, I'll expect to find better chips on that, like I did on my on a video that I've done there lately. Now it'll be another video I'm going to upload where I've taken a laptop apart, and it's an older laptop, so again found some nice goodies in that. So if you want to see that video, make sure you subscribe. So thanks a lot for tuning into the channel again. Continue to scrap, try and make your bit of extra cash, and give me a like, give me a share, give me a comment.